Hey, still haven't picked the name yet. FKA. Spoopy boys.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tonight, we're talking Ghostwatch, and we're talking Late Night with the Devil, two movies that definitely go hand in hand quite well. Very complimentary to each other.
Yeah, I named the episode Don't Change That Channel.
Oh, yeah. Two horror movies about television.
Originally,
in a way,
which is horror movies about TV, and I was like, whoa, that doesn't explain at all what we're doing.
Close enough. So, yeah. First off, how you doing?
I don't know.
That's fair.
Kind of off my pattern because the basement is completely like not put together, so I haven't worked out at all this week.
Oh,
the painting, like all the furniture stacked in the center, like when I had to take my work crew to work in the Mayo for 2 weeks while the person we were taking care of had chemotherapy and cancer treatment. They weren't sure he was going to make it. They put us up in a hotel, and there was 8 of us because it was 4 people on per 12-hour shift for one guy in bed, because just in case.
Yeah.
So I was sick the whole time,
and
those assholes went out one night and came back and stacked all the furniture in the middle of the room, and I woke up, freaked out, NyQuil'd up, took it all down, went back to bed. I woke up in the morning, they had done it again.
Nice.
So yeah, it's kind of like that, except for I was involved in it this time. I don't know. Like, I'm excited to play Fallout tomorrow night. I'm like, my neuropathy is really bad the last couple of days, so like, even when I lay down, like my legs are just going. Which, if anybody has neuropathy, it sucks assholes because you're just like can't calm your impulse. You can watch my feet just go.
Oh yeah,
they just move. I can't make them stop.
They got the twitch.
They do. They're tweakers. My legs is tweakers. Oh, we got any more of that neuropathy? Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say, man. How are you? Let's talk about.
I'm all right. Oh, let's not.
buddy.
I'm okay. I'm okay. It's just been a really rough.
Hey, Torm.
Hello, Torms. I said that weird. Torms.
Did Torm watch the 2 flicks?
She did not see Late Night with the Devil, but she was right next to me for Ghostwatch, and I think she's in the same camp as me.
Oh no!
She just said it was awful.
Oh, what you want to talk about first?
Ghostwatch.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, we got to go.
I gotta
age before beauty.
I gotta work out a little bit because I'm about to defend myself.
Would you give me a coffee? Oh, be a little quieter. Am I loud? Okay, I'm so sorry. All right.
I'm super loud, so you're like competing with me.
No, it happened. Killian's asleep right now.
Oh, how's little dude doing?
I think he's okay. He seems to be bouncing back well enough from like all the bullying stuff, but like I think it's like he's just kind of, I think, emotionally and both physically exhausted. And like today he came home and he was just like, I just have this headache, but he does this thing where he tries to put on a brave face about everything, so he didn't want us to give him anything. And then later, I'm sitting down here watching a little thing on Ghostwatch, and then I hear like him crying. So I go like sprinting up the stairs, and he's there with him, and he's just like, my headache hurts so bad. And so we gave him some. He finally was like, okay, yeah. He took some stuff, and then munch. We kind of like got him chilled. I was silly, got him to laugh a little bit, and then he and Tony just kind of chilled for a bit, and then I guess he's just totally zonked out right now, snoring away. So yeah,
sure,
he definitely needed it.
Like super stressed, and that's hard.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's just very stressed out, little body.
Tell him when he's better to build something cool and make a little video of it. I want to see it.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, he'll be excited. He's got his little Lego pokers and mini fires at the moment.
He's a little Lego movie maker, man.
That's what he wants. That's his next big goal, is to start doing some Lego movies. In fact, he's going to take a little class about it soon. So that'll be
stop motion.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And there's the terror.
And there's Maeve the Rascal.
The Queen of Cats has arrived.
She is one. Oh, she just got out of the tub too. Okay, anyways, but yeah.
All right.
So let's
you tell me all of the things about Ghostwatch.
Well, Ghostwatch is a really terrible.
You think it's terrible?
Okay, all right. It's no. When you watch it for what it is, like it's this like silly thing that they did on Halloween, and how it was actually presented, because people like put in like a ton of like hey, this is going to be this big scripted thing beforehand. Like they put it in adverts. They did an original thing right before the first
beginning, yeah.
And they even had a thing on their phone banks that would be like, the thing you're actually seeing is a work of fiction, but if you do have a ghost story you'd like to share, a lot of people missed that first disclaimer.
And it didn't matter.
And the flooding of calls shut down the phone bank because it overwhelmed the BBC. So a lot of people did not get that message. So Britain freaked the fuck out. Hardcore. People thought this was real because they do present it. If you miss all the disclaimers and everything, it's presented as this is happening. Here's a very well-respected, well-known British presenter what was his name? Michael Parkinson.
Yes.
And like this a legit respected guy. Very down to earth, not known for doing anything like this. And then you've also got this husband and wife like broadcaster team that are kind of on the rise and they're respected. And you've got the one jerky dude that I'm not a fan of. Not that he's a jerk or anything. I'm just not a fan of Red Dwarf. So the guy from Red Dwarf, the jerk from Red Dwarf.
Yeah, whatever. He's a total douche.
Is he? He seems like it because his energy.
Well, not like in real life. I don't know, but he plays that shitty part really, really well.
He did in this. He was the one part I was like, get him out of here. Like I was fine with Pipes the Ghost. Keep him around. Good dude. Stand up fella.
Pipes is solid.
Just don't go in the glory hole. And why do they call it that constantly? But yeah, so they presented like this whole thing, and for everyone who's not watching this, this is all retread, so I'm sorry I'm exhausting you, Ben. But
no, please.
So like they present like it's very much based on like the Enfield hauntings, which became the basis for The Conjuring Part 2. But if you don't know anything about that, it's these little girls and their mom who made up a ton of shit, and they got all the horrible people who are like, oh yeah, let's exploit this for money. The awful people who are the real life, the Warrens, they came in, they're like, is there money to be made? And so yeah, it's based on that. You see these people doing I
just put something in there for you. It's about 45 minutes. Kind of. I'm eager to see what you think about it. It's based on Delta Green.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
But it's also from a similar time period as, well, about 10 years older than Ghostwatch, maybe, or around that similar period. But it's also British, so I'm curious if it's just a British thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyways, I was going off on a tangent about other things, but anyway, so what the basis is. There's this. Oh no, Killian's awake and crying. Hope that doesn't bother. So I'm probably way too loud. There's all this stuff happening, and like there's this family that say they're being haunted by ghosts, and like the Enfield hauntings, it's a mother and her two daughters, and they present it like at first there's real stuff happening, and then they like give it up like, oh no, the kids are actually doing a bunch of this stuff, and like it's probably all them doing stuff. But in the meantime, they've interviewed the neighborhood and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, it's this one thing. And then you've got this lady, she's like a paranormal,
parapsych. I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah, who's been
a parapsychologist, is it?
Yeah, I think so. And she was part she's in the studio, and I believe she's like worked with the family, and she's like, this is all real, and we've done all this stuff like that.
I was there.
Yeah. And like what these girls are doing is real, but the camera catches the girls like making some of the phenomenon happen. So it's instantly dismissed as like, okay.
And but then they also have a shitty like debunker.
Yeah, I love that guy though. He sounded like Jeff Goldblum. It was
Ayo,
Mike, what's up? I like that. Like he's just some he had the funniest name. It was like,
yeah, it was weird. It was
so overwrought. Like it was like, yeah, okay. It was yeah.
Yeah, okay, boomer.
And like so he's like sitting there, oh, this is this, that, and it's not this real thing. And then all of a sudden, is that when we catch like one of the girls is missing?
Yeah.
And they find her hid behind a couch, and she all of a sudden talks with a voice like this. Like, I can't remember what what big eyes you have. What big eyes you have. It's
good.
It's good. That is a little creepy effect.
I will say this about Ghostwatch.
Yeah.
It's definitively of its time. It is also, its reputation, I think, is partly built around it being what it is, and partly built around the hysteria it caused.
Yeah, it caused some real stuff.
I think you can say that about, like, even if you went back ever and listened to the War of the Worlds broadcast, it's the same thing. It's like when you listen to it, you're like, it's all right. But then you realize, like, oh, one of the cool things about it is what it caused. And I think that adds to its mystique and its interest. I think one thing that Ghostwatch does well is subtlety and horror until the end. And that's like just seeing things in the background.
Oh, okay. Oh,
No one addressing it until you get all these calls coming in. Or like, I saw some shit there, and them going, whatever. And then them playing the tape back and going, wait, what?
Yeah, no, they actually, okay, I'll give them really good kudos there.
That's really good.
They planted that really well, because they'll do the thing where you'll see this image of this dude, and he kind of blends very well into the shadows and the lighting of like maybe a curtain, something like that. Whenever he's placed, whenever you see him, he fades in perfectly.
You have to look to see him. He doesn't.
Yeah.
It's not obvious, but when you catch it, you're like, what? It's like the guy, the supposed image in Wizard of Oz.
Oh, the hanging munchkin.
The hanging munchkin thing. Is that really what this kind of feels like that until you see it a couple times and you're like, oh no, that's a fucking guy. That's a dude.
And he pops up enough that you start like catching him in behind people in the studio even, and
that's so well done.
And then whenever they'll and then because they're listening to the calls, the people are like, I saw him in that, and then Jerry, can we get that on playback and like just go back?
Can we watch it? Can you rewind a few frames? Can we see that now, Jerry?
And they'll go back and forth, and it won't show up, but they've done it well enough that you've seen it.
Ghostwatch, a whole ass dude.
Whole ass dude, just a whole ass dude, just stand there.
So in the end, what it turns out is, there's some shit going down.
And then in the end, it gets fucking crazy.
And then it gets real crazy.
Then some dude calls up and he's like, I've been trying to get through the whole time. I know the true story of the house. And it was this dude, and he used to kill a bunch of people, and it was just insane and crazy.
Then it gets into some changeling shit for a little bit.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden there's like a portal in the house, and and then the studios, like,
I like the idea of that, like a mass possession via television is wild, and it's something that the next movie we'll talk about, I think, played with a little bit, which is very interesting. But I think, again, part of the problem is Ghostwatch was a TV show, not a movie. It was kind of, I think, supposed to have a little bit of campiness to it.
Oh, it's pure campy.
But
Like,
people not getting that and freaking out makes it, I think, kind of creepier than it really is.
yes,
But it has some definitive creep in it. I mean, that Mr. Pipes in the background is creepy as fuck.
it's
Like I
good.
said, when you see
I don't
him
know, man.
and you don't see him, you're not catching it all the time, and then it's pointed out to you and you start to catch it, and then you start to see him in the studio and things like that. That's creepy.
Yeah, I mean, they do it to good effect, but like for me, I was watching it like
under duress.
full grown. Never mind, that sounds so condescending. I'm a full grown adult here watching this.
I'm a
No,
full ass dude.
I'm a whole ass dude watching this show. But no, like, I'm a full skeptic.
FKA
Let's put it that
Spoopy
way.
boys.
And like sitting there,
whole ass dudes.
Sitting there, like holding this idea of like because I've heard nothing but like this caused a panic. People, a kid killed himself and stuff. Like, okay, all right.
Do you think that the hype made it harder to enjoy?
For me,
it before.
A little bit. I think a little bit. I think I had built it up so much, and then when I was watching it, I was just like, the English have to be the stupidest country in the world to be getting afraid of this, like, because it was so campy. But it also, divorcing that and watching it like again, for the quality that it is, it's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I would say it would be excellent entry horror.
Yes,
because it doesn't get too crazy. You see scratches on a girl's face. That's like the most violent thing we see. Otherwise, it really does play on that, like, there's something unknown and unseen, and it's lurking right there in the shadows. Yeah. Crazy old lady face. Yeah. It movies. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, and that's a good call, Spike. It's like that, Spike, if there was no money. Again, I think if you look at it also as like low budget or no budget, then you can appreciate it even more because they had to kind of be very strategic of where they spent money. And they do a good job of it. And I'm pretty sure the money they spent was probably on the, broadcaster as well as the actors involved.
Yeah, I mean, and they do, well, I don't know, like they don't do anything too crazy with the video editing. Like,
no. Not at all.
And everything in the studio, because I think I'm also kind of like, when I think of it, like, what I'm like, oh no, that crazy shit happened in Late Night with the Devil. That didn't happen. That's what I'm thinking of what happened in the studio.
I kind of feel like
Late Night with
the Devil definitely, in my opinion, builds off this movie incredibly. I mean,
Rabbit Granny was fucking
Rabbit Granny's was super good. Like, way better than any right to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was great.
I think that, and I would be shocked if the people who made Late Night with the Devil didn't cite Ghostwatch as an inspiration.
Yeah. Like, if I think it's the filmmaking duo. I think it's two brothers from Australia. So I'm sure this had to have been on their radar, just with the kind of commonalities that Australia and Britain share. Ooh, excuse me, too much soda. But yeah, like it, especially like, because like there's definitely a template laid here with Ghostwatch that Late Night with the Devil does follow.
I would think I do think that a few other projects that are similar follow this kind of. I think Lake Mungo in the swerve definitely does. I think it's a pattern you can follow better in mockumentary form, found footage form, those types of TV horror, which I was watching someone, I think I might have sent it to you. I watched a video essay where a guy was talking about a few movies that I had not seen that he was talking about, and Ghostwatch was a movie he kind of peripherally mentioned that he thinks are the DNA of analog horror. And I was like, yeah, you know what? Ghostwatch is the DNA of analog horror. It's definitively analog horror in a very strange way, because it's not like, analog generally I find to be like, it's found. This is some old shit we found.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. This is like.
By the way, I have to send you a video of Godzilla analog horror stuff.
I watched one. I've only seen.
They're great.
I watched two.
Yeah.
One blew my mind because they took a unused concept. I think that Stan Winston wanted to do for with the gargoyle kind of.
Yeah.
Holy shit! Was that so sweet? That was so good.
There's one I don't know if I sent to you I watched a couple months back where it's just a guy and there's noise. And he goes outside and you can see Godzilla, but it is in the distance.
Yeah.
And he gets out a camcorder and it lasts for like 2 minutes and it ends when Godzilla turns and just blasts with like radioactive down the neighborhood. He runs inside and you don't know. And then it cuts out like, did his house get melted or whatever? I love shit like that. It's so good.
It is good. Yeah, no, I at first when you told me there was Godzilla analog horror out there, I was like, okay,
there's a bunch of Jurassic Park ones too that are.
That would. Oh yeah, no, I saw one that it's like it kind of references like I think the end of the Last World where it's they call it like what the San Diego incident or something like that or what like
There's one cool. There's one similar to that with I can't remember if it's a T-Rex or a smaller are they called theropods? I can never remember. And there's a dog barking, and the guy's like, "God damn it!" It's because it's the neighbor's dog, and he starts to walk outside, and it just stops, and you hear like this crunch and this squeal, and he kind of steps outside, and he like turns and looks up, and I think it's a T-Rex, and he's got a part of a dog like hanging out of his mouth, and he just turns and looks, and the guy starts screaming. And the reason he's recording is because he wants to show the police. And what is it? I can't think what animal control. Yeah. These people don't take care of this dog. He wants proof. And then it's just not Godzilla. Then it's just this T-Rex smashing into his house. And the end is like him dropping the camera, and you can hear him getting crunched and pulled through this window. And you're like, okay, that's badass.
Nice.
Yeah, it's amazing what people can do.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. People's game has like gotten crazy. Not to get too far off topic even further, but I've been watching this series of like it's presented as if it's like news broadcasts of these two like cryptids, the bloop and this other thing called El Gran Maha, which is this giant like snake creature in the water that has like this big like needly mouth, and it looks like it's smiling at you, and they like fight each other to the death, and like there's like this news organization that's like watching it and stuff, and like there's all these drones in the water to like I don't know. I'll have to send you the video. It's really cool. It's all in Spanish, but they have subtitles at least. But like and it's just one guy who did this, and it blows my mind what people can do.
It is wild. Like, you know, it's the same thing when you think of video games. Like one guy did Stardew Valley. Continues to think about it. They're talented people. Kane Pixels in the back rooms. You know, Alex Kisker and the Mandela Catalog.
Yep.
There's people out there producing amazing stuff. I can't remember the guy who did Winter of '83 that takes place in Minnesota. That's an analog horror series. It's really good.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, it has a definitive like Storm of the Century vibe to it, which I think that TV movie is or miniseries is highly underrated.
Yeah. A lot of people don't bring that up enough. The Stand gets a lot of love, and rightfully. Oh, okay, all right. The Stand gets a lot of love, and like rightfully so. I love the Stand miniseries, and it obviously. It exceeds the 2-part movies in some very crucial areas. Although I do love the 2-part movies, but
hard choosing between those because they're such different animals.
If I could take like, and no disrespect to Little Skarsgård, he's great. His Pennywise is awesome. But if I could take some of the big budget flash of that and just put like and the adult cast of it miniseries in like. Because that kid cast from the movie is...
Yeah, I think the only person I wouldn't replace out of the new ones as an adult is Bill Hader.
Oh, yeah. No, he was... Yes.
I think he steals that movie. I think
he's definitely... And oh, God. And especially... I love what they did with his relationship with he's Richie and it's Eddie. That that was wonderful. And like just how he breaks down. Like Bill Hader's great.
Yeah, Bill Hader's great.
But anyways, we're not here to talk about Bill Hader. We're here to talk about
not today.
We should though.
We should talk. What the heck is that show yet on HBO? Barry.
Barry's amazing. And
Barry
there's
is
some
definitely horror adjacent going on there.
That final season has some legitimate horror scenes that are just. Wow. Did I really just see that? Like in particular, I'm thinking the one where everyone sticks into this the same. Wow.
I think also the last episode of the second season where it's just a 12 to 15 minutes of murder. Where he marches into that building and just
it doesn't feel fun.
Murder.
Yeah.
I also very much love the episode where he goes in and the dad, the karate champion guy, and then the daughter.
The feral weird. Yeah. What
that entire episode is great, especially in the grocery store later on where he's like, "Hey man, we're cool, right?"
Yeah. And I love when that cop comes in and the guy just boom and just like kills him right then and there. You're just like,
it's really good. That show is excellent.
Yeah, no, Barry.
It is dark as fuck.
It's super dark. It's super dark.
I put it in the same vein as like Dexter, really.
I'd say it exceeds Dexter. I
put it in the same vein, but I do put it above Dexter.
Oh yeah, it does. It shares that it's super dark, but also
witty.
Yeah,
extremely well acted
and humorous. Not just black humor, but like genuinely like laugh out loud funny at moments.
NoHo, was it NoHo Hank? Yeah, NoHo Hank is amazing.
Yeah, that actor is wonderful. Yeah. And I can't think of it. Anthony something, whoever plays NoHo Hank, he's great. Anthony Cumia.
His relationship with Crystal Ball is like good.
Well, that was frightening noise. When he goes and rescues Crystal Ball, that was amazing. And like that, there's some horror in there where that panther's eating the dude on the other side. You have no idea what's going on, and you just hear and like, oh, Petero. It's just like Jesus.
Yeah, that show's got some nastiness to it. Or where they put him on the bus and light it on fire, which is terrifying. Yeah.
Or there's
anyway, we need to stop because we just do an episode about Barry.
Just one more. The one scene from Barry that really sticks with me is it's in towards the later seasons where he's starting to have those visions where he's on the beach and then everyone turns and they hear that that is terrifying. And you don't see anything except for people on a beach. They turn towards something and you hear a noise. And it chills me. But anyway, we're back to Ghostwatch.
I think you didn't like it. What would you rate it? So you say it's entry horror. I completely agree that it's entry horror.
In here, God, how do I say it? Okay, there's charm to it. It is something definitely worth watching with friends for sure. It's so fun like that.
I think if you like ghost shows, especially.
Oh yeah,
like
definitely.
This show would be, yeah. Like I've recommended this like Christy and that crew because they're big into like that stuff.
Yeah.
As far as like making fun of it. And I was like, you'll enjoy this.
Oh yeah, this should I'm at a loss how MST3K or Riff Tracks have not covered this. Like
I think, or
if they have, I'm unaware because
they did not.
This is so prime for it. Like
it is, wonderful. But at the same time, it's good. It's weird, good, bad, good. It kind of like vacillates between in that spectrum. I think you'd have a hard time riffing it. I don't think it lends itself well to that, but I think as far as enjoyment with your buddies, this is good.
I think it could be riffed.
I think it would be difficult to riff really well because there's a lot of like just kind of, I don't know. Maybe they've riffed a lot of weird stuff. I mean, let's just put it this way: it's no Your Hunter from the Future. Yours World.
Yours pretty sweet.
That theme song from that movie is the best.
Is that a Queen joint?
No, but it sounds like Queen.
Yeah.
You want to treat yourself? Go find the theme song from Roar Hunter from the Future.
No, if you really want to treat yourself, go listen to the Flash Gordon soundtrack done by Queen. Whoa, buddy. We can riff anything.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right, Spike. All caps. He's got my back.
Who wants to live forever? Die.
But is there anything else left to say about Ghostwatch? I mean,
I think it's
I don't want to
entry level horror.
And in case people want to see it, I don't want to get too into things because it's very fun.
Hell yeah.
He's flying blind on a rocket
cycle. Gordon!
He's alive!
Alive!
Oh, God. Brian Blessed is
a gift.
Just let the man do his thing. Let him.
Did you watch Toast of London?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
I have the entire series. I had to buy. Luckily, my my in-laws bought me region-free Blu-ray player, so I got like Toast of London.
He also did like a show by himself where it was like him just traveling around doing stuff. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, Brian Blessed is a gift.
Yeah. Fly. No, I think it's Dive.
It's Dive.
Yeah.
Dive. Yeah, I think solid entry level horror. I think if you'll enjoy it more though if you know the story, if you know like how it caused a panic.
Unless you're like me, and then you're just sitting there the entire time. You're like, how dumb do the British have to be to fall for this? Tony, can you believe this?
How dumb do the Americans have to be to fall for the War of the Worlds thing?
It was a different time, a different place.
America.
Hardworking farmers were stressed out, and they just wanted to turn on the radio to listen to some sweet.
And Orson Welles was like,
and Orson Welles, little young Orson Welles was being like, "Fuck you all farmers, we're going to turn this shit up.
I'm going to turn it up to 11." Okay, let's get into the we got like 30 minutes. Let's talk about the Beast. Let's talk about some Late Night with the Devil.
And now we're Late Night with the Devil.
Now, for something completely different.
Something completely different. Not too much, but actually totally, because it's high quality all around. We're talking about Late Night with the Devil, which apparently has just been like creating a storm on streaming, which I'm so happy to hear because it deserves it. Yeah, okay, so written, directed, edited by Colin and Cameron Cairns. They are two Australian brothers. I'm not sure. This might be their first film. I'm not totally sure.
I don't think it is. I think it's at least one other thing.
And starring.
Also, not to get off track.
Yeah.
The Panos Cosmatos is in production on a new flick.
I'm excited.
A vampire flick.
I'm excited. That's going to be.
The cast looks pretty good too.
Yeah, dude, that's a really good. I am so into like K-Stu as an actress now, especially after she did that underwater movie, man. I was like, she can hold her own. She can do the action.
That underwater flick was good. It was definitely like high tension the whole movie.
That new one she's in is super fucking good. Love Lies Bleeding.
Yeah, I've heard great things about that. So anyway, I will say the only reason I bring that up is I feel like if Late Night with the Devil would have had some more neon in it, it definitely had a little bit of a Panos Cosmatos vibe. Especially if you've seen his Cabinet of Curiosities episode.
I thought this had a little bit, and also a lot of like young, even modern day Ty West with he's got a real good eye for catching that just kind of vibe of whatever like era he's trying to make his film in. He makes it feel like it's of that era. That's
Right Now with the Devil. Or not House of the Devil.
House of the Devil. Even
Maxie
with
Triple X. Or not just it's called X.
Pearl. Even though Pearl's in color, it feels like you're watching Wizard of Oz in a real strange way.
Pearl has that weird, almost Technicolor look.
Yeah. It's
just X, isn't it?
X because Maxie is coming out.
I could think it was Triple X. Is like, isn't that a Vin Diesel movie?
It is. I saw that in the theater.
God damn it!
And I thought it was really fucking cool when I was a kid. I was like, he's and I legit. I remember turning to my friend And this is a phrase I said that haunts me to this day. He's like the extreme James Bond. And my friend just looked at me and was like, you idiot. I was just like, wait.
God bless your friend. All right, well, tell me your thoughts about it. Like, talk about it.
Triple X, fantastic joyride from beginning to end.
Is there a sequel like Ice Cube is then?
There's two sequels. There's a sequel with Ice Cube, and then they bring back. Vin comes back for the third one, baby.
Vin needed to pay for a house.
Vin needed a new car. Yeah.
I need a D&D house.
A new house. For my family.
It's all about family.
You're not afraid of the dark, are you? And that's my Vin Diesel go-to is, you know.
You've got a deeper voice than I do, though.
I can do deep.
I think overall you've got way better range and scope and voices than I do. I'm always very, very excited when you do voices.
They'll try to do more. Don't encourage me. I'll get really stupid with it. But yeah, no, Late Night with the Devil. Top to bottom, love this movie. I thought this was really good. The one I don't even know if it's not even a criticism, really. There's the one thing I kind of got like really ramped up for is all the reviews. I was like, it just turns into a bloodbath at the end. So I was in it. Yeah. Stuff happens. Real funked up stuff happens, but it's not like a full like.
No, not at all.
I was like, this is gonna be like Demons. And it didn't go to Demons levels, but it that does not hurt this movie in any.
It doesn't need to. I'm actually glad it didn't.
No, I love how actually, because then that did not get me ready for the like fucking horror Willy Wonka trip he goes through at the very end. That was cool. But yeah,
that's what felt very Pasmos Cosmos.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Definitely.
Like again, if you've seen that episode of Cabinet of Curiosities, if you haven't, you need to. Just for Peter Weller alone, but
even passages in Mandy, have parts. There's certain sequences in there that definitely has that flair as well. Not so much in Beyond the Black Rainbow. That's a great movie too.
I love Beyond the Black Rainbow.
So good.
I can't talk tonight. Sorry, go ahead.
But yeah, David Dastmalchian is our lead, and this guy, I love this dude. He seems to be a real horror hound himself, on top of being just a fantastic actor. He killed it as Polka Dot Man. He was great in Dune. Anything he shows up in, I first remember seeing him, and this is probably his first prominent role, but he's got one of those character actor faces that you're just like, that guy. You know, you might not know his name, but you always recognize him. And he was like one of the Joker's henchmen in like The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And from there on, you just have been seeing him here and there, always in quality, always given a really good job. And he's really getting his time to shine right now. And he kills it as this, what's his, is it Jack Delroy?
Yeah.
Who's, I wouldn't say he's a Johnny Carson wannabe. He is
a Johnny Carson wannabe. That's
you say wannabe is.
He's trying so hard to be Carson.
I feel he's just more jealous of Carson's success, and he's chasing it.
I think he desperately wants
to
be the Tonight Show.
Be it instead of just being top dog. He wants to. Okay, all right. And also the movie opens with wonderful introduction with Michael Ironside. Just
that voice. Oh, you forget that voice. Wow.
Just get that man to narrate everything, because it makes everything feel so like important, and I need to be paying attention.
I didn't know it was going to be Michael Ironside, but as soon as I heard him talk, I was like, it's Darkseid. I was like, oh shit, Michael Ironside, because he was Darkseid in the old I don't know what you call DC animated universe, the Timverse in Superman and Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited.
Also the voice of the first Sam Fisher for any Splinterhead or Splinter Cell heads out there. Are you Splinter heads out there? Are you guys really into Splinter?
That movie's solid. That movie's solid as well. You didn't like Splinter? I
need to rewatch it because I don't know. Okay, here's the thing with Splinter.
I
was enjoying it.
It's a single.
I was watching it by myself and enjoying it, and then my dad and my sister came down and just started talking shit about it. And then after the end, I was just like,
yeah, this movie does suck.
Yeah, I'm not really, and everyone I've run into throughout my life has been like, Splinter's solid, and I'm just like,
I think it's a solid little flick. It's a lot
I love the actors.
To me, it's a nastier, in your face version of Pontypool, and the fact that it's like a one setting movie, basically. It's less cerebral and more like, I would call it, it's a weird way to say it, I call it Romero trash.
Yeah, and I think also one thing I will say that there's some shots of the creature that is just like, this is a Muppet.
It's no money. Again, it's a very low budget. It's not it's not no budget, but it's a low budget movie.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good for a low budget movie.
Yeah, and I'll say, like, until my experience was ruined by my family, I was really digging it, and
that can
like
happen.
it does have like, especially once they get to the gas station, like, and the kind of rules are set and the stakes and everything. There's very good tension set within the interplay and the dynamics, and like, can we go out? Can we go in? Like, that was good. Although I think my parent, not my parent, my one parent and my sister, I think they ruined the look of the monster for me. And then that ultimately went to me being like, this movie isn't so hot. But it's one of those things I need to rewatch, because there's been plenty of things I've gone back to that I didn't really care for, that I was like, oh, there's something here. And then there's plenty of stuff where I was like, this is the shit. And I've gone back to it. I'm like, no, this is shit. Howard the Duck fucking sucks. And I never want to watch it again, except for the duck titties.
But it's got to have duck titties on it.
It's got to have duck titties or I walk. I'll pull my money out.
Okay. Anyway.
It's George Lucas yelling at the other producers and the director of Howard the Duck to put those goddamn duck titties in that movie, because it needed it.
Anyway,
how long will it be on there? 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
That's good enough.
5 seconds.
Good enough for me.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Late Night with the Devil, it's
the movie we're talking about.
really, really, really good. About having the tension build in a way that's strangely fun. Like, because there's a lot of the tension has nothing to do with the paranormal stuff until that stuff starts to really pop off.
Yeah.
It's about like, hey, we're going to lose the show. You know, there's execs in the crowd.
There's big time stakes. And also they do a really good job of in that intro of being like, something really messed up happened during this broadcast. You are about to see this. It's never been shown before. Get ready, buckle in. And so that just sets this anticipation, and it just, oh yeah, man, like you're just kind of waiting, and they drip. It's not a slow burn at all, but they do drip feed you enough that you're just like, okay, all right, where's the next thing? Where's the next thing?
And when things start to happen, you've also got the guy, the debunker, who does a really good job of debunking, especially who does the mass hypnosis. That scene's great. Where I can't think of the sidekick's name, starts pulling the worms.
Oh God, he's wonderful.
Yeah, he's great in this movie. As the very put upon, Andy Richter sidekick.
Yeah, that
he's scared shitless. Like, he realized like something bad is happening here.
Gus,
yeah.
And Gus is just, he's the perfect devoted sidekick. He wants the best for Jack. He truly does. But I feel
like he and the producer are the devil and the angel on Jack's shoulder.
Yeah, and and he senses like there's something bad in the air tonight.
And as we learn as the movie goes on, spoiler alert, Jack's definitely gonna listen to that devil.
Oh yeah, Jack is, and we get and Jack's got a really tragic backstory.
And then you kind of find out, again, this is all spoilers. Some of that tragedy is on his ass.
Yeah. He had a true love with a very devoted to, he was devoted to her, she was devoted to him, wife who dies of cancer. There's kind of a despicable scene where you see that he brought her on to kind of try to milk the ratings, and it just did not do it. And in it, she's very late stage and she's professing her love to him. And you can kind of see in her eyes that she knows what this really is. And she hopes that Jack gets what he wants out of it. It doesn't happen. She dies very young. And they talk about how it ruins Jack. He becomes a bit of a recluse. And then he starts mounting a comeback. They also mentioned
doing like a lot more salacious material.
Yeah. They also mentioned, like maybe Jack hangs out with a bunch of dudes that go into the woods and do stuff, but it's a boys club. Don't worry about it.
Well, it's a boys club with a giant statue of an owl that they played.
Yeah. Do you notice in one of the first shots where it's like showing you it's a placard card for the channel. There's a Hail Abraxas. I caught that in the first
also that a lot of the stuff is an owl. I mean, shows called Night Owls. There's
owls all over the place. Oh God, yeah, dude. But don't judge the boys for the owls, dude. You should judge these boys.
Yeah, they're
up to no good.
That part kind of reminded me of Starry Eyes.
Yeah.
Except for in Starry Eyes, the main character suffers horrifically until they finally just say, fuck it. And then they become awful. And then everything works out for them.
Everything works out.
It does. They're very happy at the end of that movie.
Yeah, that's a twisted one.
It's a good horror movie, but boy, it's like, don't look for a lesson in that movie.
No. You could only take the wrong lesson from that one.
The lesson should be get the fuck out of Hollywood.
Yeah.
Yes. So one thing I also think that having some time to digest this movie, the skeptic is such an unrepentant prick.
Oh,
so unlikable. But by the end of the movie, you realize he's right about everything. It's, when he first is like, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, this is bullshit, and then starts to realize this isn't bullshit. Don't muck around with shit you don't understand.
Yeah.
And also telling Jack, like, you fucked over your wife for ratings and it did not win. You did not beat Carson. You lost by like 1 point. Why are you doing this shit? You're kind of an awful person. And you also kind of figure out some of it's because this guy doesn't get invited to those little parties in the woods. Very much wants to be invited.
Oh yeah. He's got like the wardrobe and stuff that like
very like Anton LaVey type of like look.
He's the shitty version of the Amazing Randy.
Awesome
debunker. Just if the Amazing Randy was just a self-serving prick who wasn't out there to be like, I want to educate people and open your eyes, was like, I want to educate people.
Yeah. Also, like, I used to do all this stuff. I was an illusionist.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still the best in the world at it. I just to shit on everybody else.
Yeah. He's just the worst. Just the absolute worst.
Oh, the nice thing is, in the end.
Oh, yeah. I love his death scene. Spoilers, he dies.
The last 15 minutes is wild. And I know, like you said, some people said it's a bloodbath. It's not a bloodbath.
No.
Is it entertaining? Yeah. Is it weird? Yeah. It's like you said, it's very Pasmos Cosmatos. With the weird head thing and the lightning and everything. You're like, all right.
Yeah. And then when it becomes like, this like dream-like tour through this guy's personal failings in hell. It's wild. It's really good though. And I think it's a perfect culmination to a movie that was, I think, tricks you into like, oh wait, you're not going to do something big and wild. Yeah.
And then it just does it.
Yeah.
And you're like,
it builds it.
Yeah, it really builds and builds and builds. And then it just kind of goes away from it for about 10 minutes. Like, oh, well, you big horror tease, and then it's like, oh no, we were edging your horror.
Yeah. It does. Oh God, like I really want to like shout out to that girl. The girl who plays Lily is fantastic.
She
as
was
well.
amazing. I heard
Like,
someone talking about Abigail, the movie
I haven't seen that
Abigail,
yet. I
yesterday,
hear it looks good.
and they said between the girl who plays Lily and the girl who plays Abigail, I hope they both never leave horror because they're both absolutely outstanding in what they're doing.
Yeah, that like
they help make the movies they're in.
just her as in her unpossessed form. There was something so deeply unnerving about how she played that and how she was always looking for the camera. And you get this backstory that she's been rescued from a cult who worshipped Abraxas, and they all committed mass suicide. And she was,
which kind of makes me think like it was a cult involved with Jack's cult.
Definitely.
Like this whole thing was like set up to culminate the way it culminated.
Well, we got Mr. Skeleton that we see in our background right there, and he was definitely stone still while everyone else was like. And I read a thing with the filmmakers, and they say he is someone from the cult who's just making sure everything goes as it should, which is just
that's what I think played for me really well. Is when you kind of start to think about it, you're like, there's a lot of layers in that movie that you have to take a second to go, was this all like meant to get Jack in the end anyway?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, and maybe like I said, kind of that whole possession. Either they were going to go full blown the same way when the skeptic did the mass hypnosis thing. I thought that was what they were going to go for, is like mass possession through television.
I get that something like that kind of happened though. Like I feel like there's like hints toward that something really bad happened towards, because I feel like at certain parts they mentioned, maybe in the buildup with the opening narration, where they talk about how viewers of the show had been affected and they had never, that's why it lended itself to being such another piece of lost media.
I don't remember that, but it may have all.
I feel like they did, but oh God, yeah. And oh man, it's such a good movie. And like, yeah, I want to talk more about it, but also it's so fresh. I don't want to give away too much. But they do a really good job of presenting it like it is this, like we are seeing this TV presentation. They do a wonderful thing where they go to like commercial breaks, and then while the commercial breaks are happening, we see behind the scenes kind of like documentary footage.
It's like black and white.
Yeah. And we do see, it was pointed out in one review that we do actually see like a documentary crew splitting when all the stuff like goes crazy at the end, and stuff goes so crazy at the end. But yeah, like that one girl, I do want to pose the theory. Like, I just feel like just or not even a theory, but just the way she plays that, like, if you've ever seen like, interview footage with people who've escaped cults, and they have like that kind of husk. There's just not really much personality left to them.
I also some of it made me think later on was her high focus on Jack, like almost
Jack
jealous.
And the camera.
Yeah, almost jealous when Jack is kind of speaking to her surrogate parent / doctor and
/ exploiter.
Yeah, she's like, oh, she really likes you, and she's like, oh, what? Don't say that.
Oh yeah, she's like, she's been talking about you all day and stuff like that. Like,
they also allude to her and Jack might be sleeping together.
The girl?
No.
No, I think they totally are, because like,
but they don't explicitly. This is one thing I like about this movie. There's a lot going on they don't explicitly say, but they dangle enough like drama going on between people. That makes you kind of go, okay, is there something else going on?
Yeah.
Kind of like the skeptic who's always jabbing about their little boys club, but also in that kind of way of like, you hook me up,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, oh yeah. Oh God. And
the weird way, the first medium he has on.
Oh, that poor dude. That poor son of a bitch. Oh man, that
guy. Which also it makes you go, was that one of those cases where like he, in the fiction of the movie, was he really a medium or was he not?
I
And
don't think
that's
he
the
was.
that's the thing. Like you won't know, but it makes it interesting because if he wasn't, how did that happen to him? Yeah, it's interesting when you start to think about it. Like, so yeah, I this is definitely, I would say this is probably, I would say a college level.
Yeah.
Like, not for
Yeah,
any
yeah.
other
You
reason
should. You
than
should.
you have to pay attention. It's definitely got some, while it ratchets up tension, it's a little bit more, it's not in your face, there's not jump scares.
And it's layered though. Like
Mhm.
there's so many clues for you to kind of find and
Like
piece together.
you just mentioned something that, like, about that during the Ironside stuff at the beginning that I don't even remember hearing, but it makes me think like, oh shit, I didn't even realize that maybe that did happen.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I feel like there's a part, like, I could be wrong, but I feel like they do mention that there's this thing that, because like that made it like tie in a little bit with Ghostwatch, where like people were affected,
Like a
like they
panic.
were affected on like a supernatural, like shit went wrong level. I'll need to watch it again. Obviously, I'm definitely going to. It's up there. It's so high up there for me.
I
This is
do
another,
highly recommend it right now.
yeah, for me. Not to another Shudder release, but like goddamn, it was just as good, and one of my favorite movies of the year last year, not just in horror, but just in all cinema. When Evil Lurks, like this is up there for me. It was so good.
Different style of movie, but yeah,
Definitely different, definitely different style movie. But in terms of just like bringing the horror, but also bringing a really good heft of like real character drama. Like you care about these people, and as things get worse, you're just like, fuck. Like, and although with Jack, there is a little bit of fun in seeing the bill come due to collect. Not so much with When Evil Lurks, but
well, part of it too though is like when Evil Lurks, you're like, I love the fact these brothers
actually by the time,
love these brothers so much, but goddamn, are you dumb?
yeah, no. At the end, especially when we get to the school in
Yeah.
When Evil Lurks, and he goes and leaves that girl, it's just like, you fucking moron, you idiot.
That scene will haunt me for a long time when you've got a bunch of little kids doing something absolutely horrific.
Oh god, and
And you kind of realize, oh, a little kid with a hammer, it's going to take you a long time to die.
Oh yeah, it does, because the first whack isn't going to do it. They might
take like 10 or 12, 13, 15.
And they might wander away and then realize, oh, you're not done, and come back.
Yeah. Oh,
God.
Yeah, hell of a movie though. I would say that I'm now eagerly awaiting In a Violent Nature.
Oh yeah, dude. That's next.
Now I have heard mileage will vary depending upon what you are expecting with this. I've heard it's like can be almost tedious at times between things, but the fact there's no soundtrack and you're literally just with the killer the entire time. You're like all over their shoulder. So I'm fascinated by like this fact we're going to watch this movie where this undead Jason Voorhees style killer just stalks people and kills them.
Yeah.
And that you're basically not his POV directly, but like the third person over his shoulder the entire time. I find that fascinating.
Oh yeah, man. I love slashers. I'm a big Friday the 13th fan. I love Jason. He's the bestest boy that ever boyed. A true
where does Leslie Vernon fall on your slasher list? Maybe sometime we should do a slasher tier.
I'll say he's just going off the top of my head, thinking of 4 slashers that just popped into my head. I'd put him. Leslie is under Michael Myers and under Jason Voorhees, but he's above Freddy Krueger.
I think he's definitely top 10.
Oh yeah,
I'll put him more towards 6, 7, 5 area. I haven't seen Crank.
I have seen both of them. I own them. They're fantastic fun movies. I think
talk like this.
Does Crank get into? I know there's that Hardcore Henry movie that was full on first person. I think Crank.
I don't think In a Violent Nature is at all like
it's
Michael
not first
Myers
person.
The Mask. It's not first person, but you are just like over the shoulder.
Yeah, we do stay. Yeah, we stay with the killer the whole time. It looks like, which and also I love slow, tedious stuff. Like I'm a huge Terrence Malick fan, and like I go ahead, buddy, shoot a tree for like 10 minutes. I'll watch it.
Linger all you want.
Linger all you want, man. You want to make a movie about the Battle of Guadalcanal that's more like 60% about man's connection to nature? Let's do it. I'm down.
What are we talking about? It's Spoopy Boys or FKA Spoopy Boys. What are we talking about next week? Next week will be we're back on track next week.
Next week we're back on track. Oh gosh. That's hard. Is there anything on your radar?
Trying to think. We could talk. I haven't finished yet. We could talk Fallout if you want.
Ooh, let's save Fallout for something else. Actually, how about we talk? I don't know. I was going to say, do we want to jump back into 30 Coens for a little bit? We haven't followed up on that in a while, but then I was
could check with that. That can be our maybe. We have to check with Matt because I don't want to talk about that without Matt.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk Fallout, because I was thinking another thing I really want to talk, but I don't know how much the availability for it like streaming is the series American Gothic. I've been rewatching that lately. It was on ABC back in the day.
Was it not Gary Frank? It's
the dude
Gary
from Outer Space. Yes.
Yeah, I never watched that, but yeah, I never watched it, but I've always heard good things about it.
It's very good. Another thing I've been wanting to kind of delve into, because I've watched the two horror things I've been watching kind of in the background have been American Gothic and Tales from the Crypt, and I'm down to talk about some fun Tales from the Crypt sometime soon. But let's do Fallout.
I'd have to find where I can.
I can lend you the entire series because it's all on DVD, so I could bring that like over to you. And yeah, we could just go like season by season every so often or something like that. But yeah, let's do Fallout. That's fairly recent. I've watched it a ton.
I haven't finished it yet, but what I've seen, I've enjoyed a lot.
Yeah, and there's definitely some really fun horror elements to get into when we talk about like the games and stuff, and some of the really ooky spooky stuff they do in the vaults and whatnot. They get like really, really messed up.
Also, we're playing 76 tomorrow night.
Yeah, you're doing that. I don't know if I'll be able to, but if I'm free, I'll definitely jump in if you guys got room.
Yeah, hell yeah. Always have room.
I don't know what level my guy is. I'll have to check that out. It's going to be embarrassingly low. But yeah, let's do Fallout. Next episode.
My thing is like I played like once. I very enjoyed it, so don't worry about it.
All right.
Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being formally known as. Colin, where can people find you on the beautiful internet?
People can find me all around the place. Discord, Xbox, and Steam. Creepin' Colin, just look for that. Steam. Then you can find me Tuesdays. Not this Tuesday, next Tuesday, the Tuesday after next Tuesday. Doing Meng on Meng. I might get my paints together, so I kind of want to. I'm toying with the idea of doing some miniature painting and taking a break on the Lego. So we'll see where that goes. You can find me doing Scum and Villainy when we do that next, and
not this coming Monday, but the Monday after.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be there. And then every so often I'm popping up on prep school when I've got the time for it. And yeah, here, there, everywhere. Just keep an eye out. You might see me walking down your street. I might be popping up behind your garbage can. looking, foraging. Sometimes I'm on Fortnite, just
We
tearing
need
it
to
up.
do that for about a game soon.
I
Also,
would love.
did you see the new Fortnite Lego thing, Star Wars?
Mhm.
I've not played the free Lego Fortnite game, but I've
It,
watched people play it, and it looks amazing.
it's like it's I'd say it's really comparable to Minecraft in a lot of ways. It's just enchanting because you're doing your Lego thing in a little Lego world. It's good.
Yeah, and you're also building a colony, so it's
Yeah,
also got colony builder stuff to it, which
yeah.
Minecraft doesn't have.
And I haven't done any of the. There's like already some spin-off little fun game modes. There's one where I think you're like doing fishing, and like one where
Maybe,
you're like
maybe
fighting off.
not this Friday, but next Friday is Fang Gang.
Oh, big new trailer just launched for V Rising 2. Looks really cool. Really
Oh,
cool.
Castlevania stuff!
And all that new Castlevania stuff
An
that's dropping.
entire new area on the map. Like this is not like
I didn't realize it was like now in. It was like kind of pre-built what we're doing.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Now it's like full release. That's cool.
Yeah, because it went up like $20.
I noticed that. I'm like, got it right in time.
Also, I highly recommend. I think it's still on sale. Killer Frequency. I think you love this game.
Okay, I'll have to check it out.
You are a radio show host, and there's a serial killer in town, and it's you directing people and trying to solve it from the booth.
Oh, that sounds really fun.
Yeah, it's a game I've watched people play. I don't know if I'd play it, but it's a game I would play with you on Bad at Games because I would love to watch somebody else play it. It's a lot of problem solving and investigation type stuff.
2 games I want to give a shout out to is
80s, super 80s.
I want to shout out 2 games that I've been playing a ton that have been super fun. Overcooked. It's a little game where you're making little dishes, you and your little guys, and sometimes you have to like jump over volcanoes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, really yeah.
And then there's another one, I think it's called That's So Delicious or something like that. And you have to like be like a short order cook and like build a restaurant up, and you're taking orders, but you also have to take the trash out and wipe the dishes and stuff like that. I've been playing it with Maeve, and I've been acting like we are coworkers at like the Bear, and I'm like, order up, I need this right now, chef. Yes, chef. And she's just like, Dad, you're strange.
Heard, chef. Have you talked to Maeve about her Lord and Savior Fungalore yet?
Oh no, I have not. No.
Heard, chef. Heard. He hears your wishes. He doesn't grant them. He just hears them.
Like any good lord.
He's like a god. No, Justin, he's not a god. God damn it! It's 50% off right now. $12.49 for Killer Frequency on Steam.
Oh damn. Okay, that's a really good price.
It's very positive reviews. It came out this year. I've watched 2 of my favorite streamers play it, and I was like, God damn, I wish this was my style of game. So anyway,
if I have any fun money after all the new Star Wars stuff they're gonna put in Fortnite, I'll have to pick that up because they're putting a bunch of new Star Wars.
I think it'd be a game to buy now. So
you're probably right. Yeah, that's a good sale.
Yeah, it's 50% off, which, hey, a lot of that stuff goes 50% off and on, but you never know. That's the thing. Like that's why V Rising, I bought Cassandra a copy, and she was like, I don't know if my laptop will run this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
No. Anyway, I bought it for her, and I was like, but it's gonna go up, it's gonna double in price. So I might as well just get it for you.
Yeah. Yoda back bling. Okay, that's getting bought.
You can find me tomorrow here. We're going back to West Virginia. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to have a good time.
And then Sunday for prep school, and then next Monday's down in Outlands again. So thank you to everyone who hung out with us, anyone who watched in the future. Good to find. Super Spike, you guys rule. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Big thanks to Colin and the fam. We even got cameos by Tarm and the Queen of Cats. I hope the little man gets to feeling better.
What? You're kidding me. Oh, God. Okay. Sorry, the seagull things. Oh, it's a boy. It's a wild boy. You're okay. Don't worry.
Hey, Dad.
What?
Can I tell you something on Epic?
Sure.
There's also some book instructions how to make witches in like by drawing.
You'll have to next time we're doing
And
Spooky
even
Boys,
ghosts.
can you show us some of that cool stuff?
Yes, please.
Okay.
That's amazing. Heck yeah.
A ghost that has like a chain, and even like the classic ghost, dude, kind of one,
What kind of classic ghost?
like where you have the white blanket and the black eyes.
Yes, that is a classic ghost.
It probably look like this.
Ooh, I love it. All right, yeah, buddy.
Real quick, part swap. Super easy. It's a good looking Keldor.
Oh,
I don't know how I feel about Shatner doing the voice of Keldor, but anyway.
it takes me out because I just see Shatner in
Yeah.
my mind's eye. It's weird.
All right. I gotta go eat my salad for dinner.
Sounds great,
you
dude.
guys have a good Friday. And we'll see you I'll see you at least tomorrow evening to fail my way through West Virginia. Bye.
Bye.